Hey, BassGeek here. School is in with a custom bag and some custom colors just for you. What is going on, my geeks? I appreciate each and every one of you. Listen, guys, I know I've been asking you guys to sponsor the channel. Now, I don't want to alienate the rest of you at all. Every single one of you are a great geek. I appreciate you. You watch. Just by watching, you support the channel. The 100% Watch Squad, man, you know I love you guys. I appreciate those who can help and who can support the channel. One day, maybe you guys, the rest of you out there, can. The only thing about the channel sponsors, the geeks who sponsor, is I'm not asking for a lot, just, $1 when you can. If it's a good video and you think it's worth that, $1. I love the guys who pay more. I hope you guys just look at that like you've sponsored for 5 months or 10 months or whatever. I appreciate it. But you don't have to do it. I don't want to alienate you all or make you guys think that that's what this channel is about. It never is, it never was, and it never will be. The reason why I'm doing this is because I do get the occasional guy who's like, oh, you're just doing it. You're just saying that because you're sponsored by them. Look, I use what I use. And you know what? Eventually what I'd like to have happen is you guys are the 110% sponsor behind me. And that's that. I want to make sure you guys know that if I'm getting paid by anybody, it's you geeks out there. And you are the guys that I feel responsible to. Because without you, there's no BassGeek, there's no channel, there's no nothing. So no matter if you donate $1 ever or you don't donate a dime, you're geeks and you're the reason why I'm here. I'm just asking for a little bit of help so that we can get this channel to full pull and get out there and help me live my dream. That's what I'm saying. All right. All that being said, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want to talk about this from Lurenet. Now, we've got a couple of things that are dropping in January or have dropped in January. Number one, we've got the new school bag, the bait school bag, which is predominantly geared towards small creeks, multi-species sort of thing, maybe some small ponds. So baits that are really going to work anywhere there's any type of fish, not even just bass. Then we've got some really cool baits. They're dropping them a little bit early, in my opinion, this time of year. I'd like to see this drop maybe come around March when I think it's going to do better. But they're custom paint jobs. Listen, there's custom paint in these bags, only 300 of them. And there's only 300 of each color in this box, okay? And then I've got a bunch of other stuff. So this is another huge unboxing where I bought a bunch of stuff from Lurenet. And the one great thing about Lurenet for you guys is I've got a 15% off discount code, and the stuff is already pretty dang good priced. So you want to buy a bunch of stuff cheap and custom paint jobs, you ain't getting that nowhere else. Not for a lot of these bigger companies, and you're getting it at Lurenet. This is where you want to go. Use that 15% discount code in the description below, and let's get to opening this stuff up so I can show you what I got. So let's jump right in. Let's get started with the bait bag right here. This is a waterproof bag, so when you get it, you're going to have a nice little place to keep, in your tackle bag, tackle box, whatever you carry with you if you're bank fishing. And so I'm going to show you some of the stuff, and some of this stuff is already custom colors. Now, I don't know exactly which ones. I haven't looked it up, but I'm sure you can go to the website, which I will have linked in the description, and you can check it out. Number one, we're going to talk about the Yum Dinger. This is kind of the netish version of it. This is GP Hayes, And this is a killer color. I'm not going to rip this open. I have to rip it open to get there, but hopefully you can see this. It's pretty translucent. I'm going to guess that GP is green pumpkin. And that is the 4-inch. Great little bait right there for any sort of creek or stream or river that you're going to be fishing in. Let's go ahead and do the soft plastics first. What do you say? Now, here is their finesse worm. I'm a big fan of their finesse worm, and this is a killer color. This is Ghillie Suit. It's kind of a green pumpkin, and it's got gold, blue. I mean, a really good looking sort of bluegill little bait color right there. Sort of a do-all panfish color from Yum. So here's something that just right off the bat, I didn't even know Yum made, and this is a Ned crawl. Check these little bad boys out. I mean, these are super finesse, and that is a great color, that green pumpkin orange for fall of the year, early spring, all the way up to the pre-spawn. That is a great color, and that is just awesome looking. I wish I could tear this open and look at it, but I'm not going to tear that open. Okay, so, oh wait, check that out. We've got a jig. We've got the Booyah. Booyah, baby, boo jig. Great little jig. I tell you, I love throwing jigs in little creeks and streams around here. And this would be the exact one I'd love to throw. I think it's just like a green pumpkin. Great looking color. Got a little bit of blue in it too. Great looking color right there. We've got a couple of little road runners. Got some trout in your stream. But ow, road runner. Good little size, 1/16. Now we've got our Ned heads. They sent us 2 different packs of the Yum Ned jig heads. One of them 1/8, which is one of my favorite, and 1/12. So depending on current, how deep you are, you can adjust those Ned crawls over there. Those things are, I like those a lot. Be picking up some of those that I missed in my order. Cotton Cordell, man. Great little lipless crankbait. Great color right there. This, I believe, is their 1/2 ounce. Nope, 1/4 ounce. So that's a little big for a 1/4 ounce. But anyway, good looking color. Then we've got a Norman, a deep, tiny end. Wow, that goes 4 to 6 feet. And let me just say, that is tiny. 4 to 6 feet. You know what this makes me think about? So, I know I haven't told you guys this, but I just bought a BFS system. If you all don't know what that is, it's bait casting finesse system, rod and reel. And, oh man, that right there, I mean, that's pretty finesse, but it dives 4 to 6 feet. That's what gets me going, 4 to 6 feet. I mean, if I can get that little tiny bait down 6 feet, you're going to catch a lot of bass on that, even in the lakes. So, something else I might be picking up for me. Now, this is a killer color. Gosh almighty, I love the back on it. This is a Cotton Cordell. This is it says it's a medium diver too. So let's see if we can tell what depth this dives to. I don't see where it really says. But this is a really cool color. Another great looking little finesse bait, man. I love that back. It's kind of a brownish green. Little, almost like a square bill. White. Got that orange throat on there. I always like an orange or a red throat. I love it on my crankbaits. I don't know why it seems to work, but it seems to help out a lot. But that is a Cotton Cordell. I'm sorry, I don't even know what that is. I'm not even sure what that is, but that is a killer looking little color right there. Now, some other things that you get in most bags or boxes. We're going to come out, got a killer Lurenet fishing headquarters sticker. Got a cool Yum sticker. We've got a nice little code card on here, so your next order 65% off. That's nuts. And then we've got a little how-to here with that Yum dinger. That's kind of the wacky rig, split shot, a lot of different ways you can rig it. And right here is what we're looking at. So this is Cotton Cordell Big O, and it tells when, where, and how to use these baits, which is something that I find extremely cool. That, my friends, is pretty neat. You guys know I do a lot of when, where, hows. So, yeah, that is pretty cool. I know I'm going to get caught up in reading that. Never can stop learning. Just because you know a little don't mean you know a lot. and I don't know a lot, so I try to learn as much as I can. So make sure you go check out the Bait School bag. Guys, they only are putting together 300 of these, so get them while you can. You know, these made, to me, the first bag made an incredible Christmas present for some of the kids that were a little bit older, and we gave some of those away to some kids in my family. So, you know, if you got a birthday coming up, or you got some young kids that like to fish in some local creeks, you know, pick you up some of these. Custom colors, custom baits. I mean, that's pretty dang cool in a little creek bag. Spring is just around the corner. So if you're buying up for this spring, you need to make sure you get these. And guys, these are one of my favorite things in the world to throw, as you know, when it comes to the spring. And when I say spring, I mean here we come into, once that water starts to warm, I will pick these up. You guys have seen kind of some of my videos on lipless crankbaits. This is the Booyah. Now these are from Lurenet's paint shop. There are 6 different colors here, and I've managed to get my hands on them early. Thank you, Lurenet. They are coming out the 11th, so when you see this video, these bad boys should be on the market. There are only 300 of them. You better get there fast. They're in the 1/4 ounce size and the 1/2 ounce size. They are also in the 1 knocker and the hard knocker. Now we're going to start off with this one. This one is the bulletproof color is what they're calling it. Kind of reminds me of a perch, but let's see. So that 1 knocker sort of sound, good deep sound. I mean, what a great looking little bait. Kind of reminds, great sort of perch imitator, bluegill imitator. Great looking little bait right there. Now I'm going to show you the difference between the 1 knocker and the hard knocker. This is the other 1/4 ounce. This is the hard knocker, which has multiple rattles in it. I'm going to show you the difference between these two. So here we've got the 2 different ones. These are the 1/2 ounce size. I love the design of these. They fall real well. Got that real shimmy to them. If you're familiar with the red eye shad, that's what these remind me of a lot. So here's your difference. Kind of your standard. That's your hard knocker, and that's your 1 knocker. And really, even in this, some pretty unique rattle sounds. But again, guys, show them something different. Look at that paint job. Where else can you get your major companies custom painting? 300 of each size in each color. That's it. 300 of them. Get them while the getting's good, boys and girls. Again, we've got the 1/4 and the 1/2 ounce sizes. These are the Booyah 1 knocker, hard knockers. Right here, this is the Goldie, and I'm going to tell you what, I really honestly believe this is going to be a late spring. So early spring, a lot of times I like the red, like the hard reds. By the way, I'm getting ready to show you one of them too. But as we get to, say, middle of the pre-spawn, that's when these orange start to play. Man, that's a great color. Again, a great color right here. 300 of the 1 knocker 1/4, 300 of the hard knocker, 300 of the 1 knocker 1/2 ounce, 300 of the, so you better get them while you can. Custom colors, once they're gone, and that's that. This one I know they forgot to send me some of, and this is going to be another one that I think is going to be really great during pre-spawn. This one is the Graffiti Crawl. Now this is the 1 knocker right here. They do have me the hard knocker on the way, but man, that is great. Just the reflective paint on that. What a great color. And then of course the 1/2 ounce sizes too in the Graffiti Crawl. Great color. Man, listen to that 1 knocker. Before we go any farther though, I want you to look at the body style of this. You know, one of the things I love to do in the spring, and this color right here is going to be great for that early spring. Got that red. I love kind of the purple on the back. This is called the party crawl, but one of the things I want you to look at is that flat nose right there. So when you're really reeling this quick, it's going to really get that nose down. Well, that nose, what it does is when these hooks move back and up, it acts kind of like a square bill. So you can actually bump some cover. You can grind the paint off this nose and really get down in the shallow water and just dig those mud flats and leave that trail behind and bump any sort of wood or stumps. And a lot of times you're not going to get caught. Another thing that I really like is the hooks that they've got on here. They've got sort of the EWGs. So they've got I don't know what types they are, but they're pointed in, so you're not going to get snagged near as much when you're really grinding these baits out there on flats during the spring. And that is a place that I love to throw these. What a good sound. But what a great color that is. And again, they've sent me 2 one knocker, hard knocker in the party crawl color. 300 of each, boys and girls. 300 of each. And again, here's the 1/4 ounce size in the party crawl. I'm telling you, don't sleep on the 1/4 ounce. Don't sleep on the 1/4 ounce in the spring when you're fishing over like brush piles and laydowns up shallow. So the last 2, this is what I call my transition bait. There's a time in the spring when, yeah, they'll still eat craws if they're handy, but they kind of transition off those craws and onto shad. And if you're in an area where you think you've got both, this is the color right here. It's called the red crawl. These are the 1/4 ounces, the 1 knocker and a hard knocker. I'm going to pop open one of the others, and I want to show you exactly why I think this is a perfect transition bait. So this, again, is the 1 knocker and the hard knocker in the red crawl. But look at this color. You've got the red, and yeah, it's a crawl pattern, but that could easily be fished as a shad pattern also. You know, it's one of those baits that in a little bit of stained water, you can go either direction with this, and it's a great all-around pattern. I mean, this is a great all-around pattern. I really like it. And you got a great rattle. This is kind of the same way, man. If you're around those bass, and to me, this is going to be your post-spawn color right here. Your spawn, your post-spawn color. You know, when they're back into that feed mode, this is going to be a great color. Now, it looks a lot like a crawl pattern, but it could easily go as a shad pattern because it is a brown crawl. And what's great about it is it's brown, but it's got a touch of that green in there, and then you've got that silver side and silver belly. To me, this is truly going to be the color that you're going to want to throw post-spawn. I mean, check that out. Here's your 1/2 ounce size. Great color. That's your 1 knocker. And, of course, your hard knocker. But I love that color. Can easily be fished any way you want to. If you got shad, it's going to be a great shad color. If you got those crawfish, which are starting to finally transition into that sort of green, at least where I live at, great color during the post spawn as the water's warming up. So again, make sure you go check these out. These are a limited run custom paint on Lurenet by Booyah. You better go get them while the getting's good, because they've only got 300 of each type and each size. So go check them out. Go check out that bait school. Even, you know, I know I said it's great for some kids, but it's also really it's got some great baits in it and a bunch of custom colors. I pulled up a list of the custom colors. The Cotton Cordell, the Super Spot, the 1/4 ounce is a custom. The Norman Deep Tiny N is a custom. The Big O, the other little crankbait, is a custom. The Yum Dinger, the 4-inch, which was like the little Ned, custom color. I mean, in that bag, at a killer price, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 custom colors. You're getting exclusive Yum Ned heads, which you can't buy anywhere else. They come in that bag. So, I mean, what a deal on Lurenet. And you got a 15% off discount that I'll run in the description below. 15% off to save you some money on this. So the bait school bag with all the baits, all the custom baits, is $39.99. It is 20% off. And then you can, of retail of what all those baits would be. And then you can get another 15% off. So, I mean, where are you going to get that at? Let's move on. All right, geeks. So now we're going to move into some soft plastics. Some of the stuff is going to be almost year round. And some of the stuff is going to be a little more summer driven. And so let's start with the year-round stuff first, and we'll progress into the upcoming seasons. So one of the first things we're going to jump right into is something that I so far have used in the summer, the spring, the fall, the winter, you name it. And so I got a bunch of these in an assortment of colors, and that is the Yum FF Sonar Minnow, and this is the Tennessee Shad. Got me a couple packs of them. Good natural color, greenback, clear belly with some cool little flake. Really, one of my go-to colors has got to be this. This is the JC Natural in the Sonar Minnow. Greenback, that solid white belly. It's good in clear water. It's good in mildly stained water. And this thing has really produced. This color right here is really produced for me, really year round. Now here is their natural shad. This has got a kind of a purplish back with that white belly on it. I haven't really tried this yet, but I picked up a few packs and definitely going to be giving this natural shad a try real soon. You've always got to have that sight minnow, that sort of sight, white back, clear body. I mean, that is a go-to color in any soft plastic. This is a great color. This is a Houdini shad. Really a great sort of, panfish imitator. It's got some purple, got some gold, got some green, some chartreuse colors in it. I mean, it's really got some interesting colors. Picked up 2 packs of those. Good looking little bait right there. We'll definitely be giving that a try sometime around that gill spawn, or might even be able to shake that over top some beds and really tick off some bass. Another great color here. This is a clear shad, but it's got that sort of incandescent blue to it, kind of a pearl blue to it. Really good color right there in some good clear water, but that is called the clear shad. Great color. Last but not least, I didn't pick up much of these, but I think it's a great color, and I think it's a great color even for waters that don't have the goby, which is what this is, the goby in the Sonar Minnow. Guys, these things are just so finessey. The bass just aren't afraid to reach out and bite them when they come by. I mean, they're really not. They just reach out there and take them in. Something else I got, I really do love these. These are the Jean LaRue Hammer Cross. I love to put these on the heavy finesse jigs from War Eagle. Great looking little bait. And it's got a little bit of kick to it, but it's still really, really natural and looks great. It's a great combo in that clear water. These are a little more, I mean, you can definitely use them in, winter. There's a lot of applications for these, but I wanted to give them a try. Got a little technique that I'm going to try out with them. A little ideal. That's a lot. I don't want to show you yet, but when I buy stuff, there's always sort of this agenda of hey, I wonder if I could use this with this, but I don't want to share that just yet. So, but this is the Swimming Dinger, and this is the 5-inch. This is, of course, in green pumpkin. You'll notice a lot of times when I get them, you know, when I'm going to test something, I only buy like 2, 3, maybe 5 colors max because they're confidence colors. And this is a watermelon red, 2 colors that I like, and surprise, surprise, oh, you know, like a pearl silver. So, you know, just to kind of cover everything that I want to do with it. We'll talk a little bit about that a little bit more, especially if it starts to work. You guys know I talked about this, and I got some of these in an unboxing, and these are my Tiptoads, man, from Yum. Gotta have a summer gill. That's just a cool color. I think that could really do well when the bass are on the beds and the gills are up on the beds. Gotta have some whites, man. I didn't have any white. I mean, how do I manage to do without good old a white toad? How do I mess that up? And bullfrog. I mean, it's a frog, right? Bullfrog. Gotta have that color. So some great colors. Last but not least, we're going to jump in to a summer technique that I truly love. Big worms. This is their 10.5 inch mighty worm. A good straight tail worm. Great worm. Girthy worm. And, you know, it's, as it says, great on Texas rig, jig heads, Carolina rigs, mag shaky heads. Didn't mention that. What's up with that? It's my favorite way to fish them. But this, of course, is green pumpkin. Always got to have a green pumpkin. If you fish the Tennessee River any, you better have a red bug. And if you like to night fish, you better have a plum. I would throw a black in there, too. I don't know why I didn't get a black. I may already have one. I can't remember. I ordered this a little while back. But anyway, so that is a big deal for the summer for Lurenet. And, you know, I try, you know, when I'm saving up my money and when these sales come out in these different companies, I try not to just buy for the upcoming spring. I try to think about baits that I'm gonna throw or that I want to throw as we go into summer, fall, and even next winter. See what else we've got. Last but not least, we are going to get to some hard baits and a little bit of terminal tackle. So like I said, I like to buy baits that I know I'm going to use, you know, even into the future. And some baits, I like to try different things, you know, always, you know, kind of, if I have a lot of a bait, I like to tweak and show the bass maybe a little different color than everybody else is showing them. Sometimes that'll get you more bites. Sometimes they're not going to like that color. Like I've been saying, the great thing about Lurenet is I've got a great discount code, so you need to go check them out. Some of these you're going to really hate me for. I'll explain that when I get there, but you really need to be paying attention. All right, here we go. So the very first thing we're going to start out with, there's so much of it, I'm knocking stuff off. These are, and if you fish an A-rig, these are probably some of the first ones you always pick up. My go-tos to this day is the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior and just the Umbrella. Notice there's no blades on this one. There are a time and a place. We'll talk about that in another video. Now, this is a pretty neat little kit right here. This is the Flash Mob Junior 5-wire. And what I really like about this little kit is it's a real finesse kit. It comes with some grubs. A lot of people don't think about throwing grubs on this thing, but believe it or not, they can be tremendously finessey. Comes with the heads. They're all right. They're the slide-up heads. You probably need one to use super glue, but the mob and the grubs are really nice. So let's jump into a little bit of terminal tackle now. Number one, I always keep a crappie or crappie, whatever you want to call them, rod on the boat. And of course, here's some 1/16 jig heads from Lindy, just for those crappie baits. Pink, I love pink. Crappie hate it. All right, so now to go along with my sonar minnows, I picked up some of the sonar heads. These are the 1/8, good size head. These are the 3/16. I got them all in unpainted. Figure I can take them, put them whatever color. It's just good neutral color. I'm not big on truly matching the head and everything color-wise. And these are the 1/4. I do wish they'd make them a little bit bigger. You know, I'd like to see a 3/8 and a half at least. But, you know, hey, that's a good starting point. Especially when you get into spring. Those are all good sizes. Sort of kind of on the terminal tackle deal. is, you know, had to pick me up some more heavy finesse. The 3/8, and this is green pumpkin candy. Got a little bit of that blue built into it. Love that they come with two jigs. This is a deal, guys. It's just hard to beat. Now we're going to talk about some crankbaits, and these are crankbaits that are going to work from winter to really spring and fall. First, we're going to talk about sort of our spring and fall baits, and these are the Norman Speed Ends. These are killer spring and fall baits. You should check them out. This is one of my favorite colors right here. This is the Holy Shad. Very natural color, and what I love about them, they're like a square bill, but if you can see that bill there, I don't know if you can or not, it's got a little curve to it. So they hunt real well when you're fishing those flats, when those bass are moved up on those flats, really feeding. Great little bait, 4 to 6 feet. Well, this one I've about tore out, but a great summer color. This is the Diamond Crawl. You know, got that dark red back, that orange belly, good crawl pattern, great one there. And this one is killer in the fall and spring when they're feeding on those shad. Lavender shad, smallmouth love this thing. Now this is the part where I said you guys are probably going to hate me a little bit because you can't get these anymore. These are the Bandit 200s. These are bluegill Bandit. Got them from the paint shop. These are the 200s. Bandits are great winter baits. Need a little bit of chop, need a little bit of dirtier water, one or the other or both, but they do stand out during cold water. Great little bait. The 200s run about 4 to 8 feet depending on line size. Now these you can get, they come in colors you can buy right now. I love the Bandit 300s. These get down to 8 to 12 feet. Great little bait right here. This is the Mad Cow. You know, good looking little color. Love that orange belly. Love that sort of pink side. A little bit of chartreuse there. Spot. Good looking color there. Great looking color here. I like this as we get, you know, post spawn. This is the brown fall crawl, and of course into the fall too. Good looking color right there. Great spring color right here. This is the brown crawl orange belly. Pretty straightforward name there because it is brown and has an orange belly. This one I got because I really want to try it this spring for some smallmouth. I love that kind of foil silver side scale pattern right there. And it is the chartreuse flake. This is just called crappie or crappie, however you want to say it. It's a good looking color right there. And last but not least, if you're fishing my area and you don't have this color, you better go get it. And in anything that you can have it painted, any crankbait. But this is chartreuse root beer. So a good root beer color around here goes a long way. All right, that takes us to the end of the crankbaits. Now we're going to move into a little more, you know, truly spring and summer and fall sort of baits. And that's some of my favorites, and that's Topwater. All right, so these are the Counter-Strike buzz baits. I had to pick some of these up. The baits rotate at a different head angle or different angles, so the blades rotate differently, I guess. So that it makes it super interesting to me. This is a 1/4 ounce, you know, just kind of a chartreuse Counter-Strike there. And I think this is a 1/2 ounce, both by Booyah. It's called an Alpine. And more likely what I'm going to do is pull the skirts off here and just put a plastic trailer on. I love the heads. They're a wide triangular shape. Flat bottoms, I think, will really keep them up at low speeds. A lot of times I'm fishing clear water. And so when you fish clear water, you need that bait moving slow so that the bass really have time to track. The largemouth, they want it slow over their heads a lot of times. It gives them a little more time to come knock it out of the water. Now this bait is something that I really want to try. It's something that I have a bait very sort of kind of like this. It's a lot bigger. I actually caught a smallmouth on it this year. I think me and Jeremy were out fishing Topwater. I think there's a video out there somewhere from this past summer on Top Secret Lake P. It was a popper, but it had a very unique action. And that's something that immediately when I seen it and I seen how the fish reacted to it, I was like, I wonder if a smaller bait that I know of might do the same thing. And so we'll get a little more in depth about this, but it's this little bait, the Prank, right here. Now, I know there's a lot about it. I've got an idea, and I really hope it works, because if it does work, this little sucker could be a killer. A little different retrieve. I'll keep you guys posted. But I picked up a few different colors in this. This is the Prank Pearl Melon, which honestly I don't think is Pearl Melon, because that's one of my favorite colors. I think they've got this labeled wrong, because honestly this one looks more like Pearl Melon, and they've got this called Crushed Bone, and I guess it could be, but that definitely is not Pearl Melon. It's more of like a sexy shad. Lurenet, what you got going on with this? Because that ain't Pearl Melon. Anyway, to the next one, that is a Crushed Bone, which is a good looking color. But like I said, I can't wait to try these when that Topwater bite gets on. Now this looks more like a Pearl Melon, actually. This looks a lot more like a Pearl Melon, but they call this the Moon Phase Shad. I mean, not quite like a Pearl Melon, but anyway, that's a good looking color. I think it'll do real well. And you always gotta have bone. I mean, if you're throwing a Topwater, you better have a bone. And don't misconstrue that. I didn't say with an ER on the end of it. These little suckers right here killed it in the summer. And I think the reason for that might have had something to do with the shad spawn and the hatch of those new shad, those smaller shad. I know Jeremy was throwing this. This is the Boyo in the Head and Spook. And this is bluegill fry. And so, you know, I mean, it's just a great color, great all-around color. He was racking up, man. He was loading the boat with it. Now, I picked up these two because, number one, look at that head. If you're going to throw for smallmouth, I think this is going to be a killer color. But this is the perch ring in the Boyo, in the Spook Boyo. So, love that orange throat chartreuse head. I think... I really do think that's going to catch us some big, big smallmouth. Now, guys, you know I love the spooks. And the reason why I love the Head and Spooks is because they've got that smooth nose. You know, unlike a lot of other walking baits, they've got a little indention. They spit a little water. Now, that's great if you got chop on the water, if you got dirtier water. That works great. But in clear water, you want a very wide glide. It just calls them up, because a lot of times in clear water, you're fishing for bass that are living deeper. And you don't want it to just go across them so fast that they don't have time, largemouth especially, to come up and see it. Largemouth will slowly swim up, from 20 feet down or more, and then they'll decide if they're going to take and suck that bait in. That's why I fish these so much. It's why I keep so many of them, is because they're so good in that situation. Now, I will say this. You're going to hate me again. These next three are the Superman color. Good looking color, translucent, has the blue. It's kind of like a red dot, but it's also got a little bit of red on the throat too. So really like these, pick these up. I haven't got to try them. These are, again, the paint shop. You really, really should keep up with the Lurenet paint shop. They only make 300 of whatever bait it is they're making. So you either get them or you don't. And let me give you an example, because this bait crushed them this year for me. This little bad boy right here, which is the Rapture. Holy cow. The fish that this bait caught. My backup, I've only got two. I mean, I can't tell you how many this bait caught. I caught 2 4-pound smallmouth on this. It's a machine. The color is incredible, especially during the fall. I'm showing you those, but I'm telling you they're out of them. All right. Now these they do have more of. Okay. These are my Spook Juniors right here, which I love. They are one knockers. This is the blue shad. Another good looking color, translucent on the bottom. Gonna try that out. Wanted to get me a translucent You know, I may put a little color on that myself. No, I'm not painting lures. I will literally take markers. Leave that to Debo. All right, and of course, as always, you gotta have bone, right? Gotta have a bone. All right, last but not least, Topwaters. These are actually some winter and fall baits. I mean, you can use them anywhere. I mean, spring, they do work about any time. These are the Bomber Long A's. Now, a lot of people think of them as rip baits, but most people in my area use these as wake baits, and the smallmouth kill them. This is your color right here. You know, a lot of times you can take and knock the shine off of these, cut the bill down just a little bit, sand it down so that it's a little flatter and it's easier to stay. They take a little bit of work to learn how to get them to wake, but they've got such a great back-to-back. You should go watch that video. I've got a great video on it. Just came out about a month or so ago. I tell people this all the time. They won $100,000 just 2 years ago on Pickwick, or maybe 200,000. I don't know. It's like the Toyota Championship or the Open Championship. I don't remember which one it was. But this is what won. This is what won in smallmouth. So these things are incredible. I think this is a color called Wonder Bread, and you can see why I picked it up. You know, get that head wobbling in there. A little bit of color on the side. You know, I'm always testing because I know everybody throws the bone, and the bone is the go-to without a doubt. And I had to pick up another bone. These fell out of the packs. The great thing about these, just simply that, you know, they get eat, and the bone is the big color. Like I said, I think this is a Wonder Bread. I may be wrong on that. I can't even find that pack. But I like to try different colors. You know, throw out there again. Show them something different. So that's what I do. This is the Blind Ambition. Gotta love that color. Got that chartreuse tail, that chartreuse head. This is a transparent, got some orange and a chartreuse belly on it. This is the Orange Crush. This is a Blue Diamond. Again, got that chartreuse head. Good looking color. Always, you know, once you know there's a bite, don't just go out there and just slay. You know, what ends up happening to me, I'll give you a prime example. You know, when I first started out, I would go out and throw, you know, on some schools that I had on a couple of different lakes, I'd throw a big swim bait. I was catching big bass. They caught on to it. I started throwing an underspin. I was catching big bass again. They caught on to it. The school hasn't moved. They just know what that is coming through there. So they don't bite it. They're not as curious. So then we move on to things like topwater and calling them up out of deeper water, or spy baits, or, you know, the sonar minnows. I mean, just so many other things. You know, you're always trying to get those same fish to react to something new and different. And they do learn. They do learn. This is a great one. Pink, and it's got a chartreuse belly on it. I think this is going to be a killer. This is Crazy Crush. Another one got that orange belly on it, a little bit of blue. This is chartreuse flake, blue back, orange. That's a mouthful. Always got to have a gold. I haven't had a gold. This would be great maybe on a, you know, rainy day or a heavy overcast day. This one is called Wonder Bread, so I don't know what that other one's called. Sorry. This is Fruity Crush. So, but I like it. Pink, chartreuse, both on the belly. And last but not least, a little more subtle, Mother of Pearl. All right, guys, that does it. We are finally through this unboxing. Check it out, guys. Even though there may not be a sale going on right now when you see this, make sure you go check out Lurenet. Don't miss those lipless by Booyah. Let me tell you, 300 of them. You better go get them custom colors. Spring's coming fast, and those are going to be huge players. And the Creek Bag. Man, 300 of those, and they've got custom colors in it. Who else does that? I mean, what other big lure companies do that? None of them do. Go check that out, guys. I'm telling you right now, it's incredible. Use that discount code. 15% off, boys and girls. Use that discount code. All right. As always, questions, comments in the comment section below. You guys know I love to talk about fishing with you. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you get and watch 100% Watch Squad. Best people on earth. These videos, when they come out, You guys know I love each and every one of you. And as always, you guys rock.